I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we are talking about children's literature. In fact, we're talking about two wonderful books of silly rhymes that will put a smile on your child's face. They're called Silly Animal Rhymes and Stories A to Z and Silly Animal Rhymes and Stories Zoo 2. And they're written by Anil, who is a terrific children's author. Anil, thanks for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Great to have you. I love your books. Here's an example of one of Anil's poems, A Alligator. Al the Greater met Girly Gator at the beach theater. Appreciator, dater later, mater, aider. This kind of poetry really must make kids giggle and laugh out loud for sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, tell me a little bit about why you wrote these books. Why did you write the books?
I started out with just, I was exploring monorhymes or poems with a single rhyme, and I got enough of them that seemed appropriate for children that I decided to make a children's book out of it. I don't specialize in children's books. I specialize in wordplay.
Gotcha,
and
gotcha.
And
So
building
these
humor.
books will entertain both the children and the parents, I think.
Oh yeah, they're meant for both. Yeah. There's this on the front cover of the first one, it says for ages 2 to 102. Not for really old people.
Absolutely. I love them. I love them. So your first book of silly rhymes was Silly Animal Rhymes and Stories A to Z.
Yes.
And then you followed up with a second edition, Silly Animal Rhymes and Stories Zoo 2, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. I love the illustrations. Did you work with the illustrator or did your publisher help you find that illustrator? Tell me about the illustrations.
The publisher introduced me to her, but then she and I worked together, and it's pretty well, I told her what to do. So she's very cooperative and kept trying again when it wasn't quite the way I wanted. So she's a very good artist and very cooperative, and I was lucky to get her.
Absolutely, absolutely, because they really bring the story to life. The animals look like they're joking around and having a good time.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's the intention.
Absolutely. Now, do you have a favorite rhyme amongst these different rhymes that you wrote for these two books?
Oh, I kind of like, well, there's a couple of them I like, but I need to get the book to remind me.
Yep, it'd be hard to remember. If you got the book handy there, we'd love to hear it.
Handy, yeah.
Now, these books are available on Amazon.com. You can download them to Kindle, or you can buy a physical copy, which of course is great for kids to have a book in their hands. And they're called Silly Animal Rhymes and Stories A to Z and Silly Animal Rhymes and Stories Zoo 2. And Anil is a word master. Wordplay is his thing. And here's a listen to a couple of ones that he really likes.
This is the first one I wrote. What's in a name? The poor catbird has never purred and isn't furred. Its name's absurd. Now, who conferred on bird that word? Some science nerd?
Wonderful. I love it. Was there another one you wanted to share with us?
Yeah. Gummy Shark, letter G. Shark warning. Don't get chummy with a gummy, silly dummy. You'll look yummy and be scrummy in its tummy.
That's awesome. The kids must love it. Have you read this to any children, perhaps grandchildren or something?
No, but I have a neighbor, well, she's moved now, but she read it to a class of students. And I was lucky enough that she asked them all to write a letter to me with questions about it and I answered that. But I don't have any children, so I haven't read it myself to children.
Right, but it's nice that it was tested in front of that audience of kids from your neighbor's school.
Loved it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you're a retired biologist, correct?
Yes.
So you know a thing or two about animals.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I used to. It's been a long time since I retired, so a lot's happened in the animal world since I was there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now you write because you just enjoy writing? Is it a hobby for you? Tell me a little bit about your writing.
It's a hobby. I don't try to sell it, so I haven't sold many books because I don't push it. I'd rather write than promote and market.
Mhm. Absolutely. Well, hopefully this book gets into the hands of some children because it really is a wonderful book. Both of them, actually. They're very cute. They're very fun. The illustrations, like I said before, are wonderful. Now, where do you live? Are you in Australia?
Yeah, in Perth, Western Australia.
Okay, great. So you're getting to start your spring there, I guess, right?
Sorry,
Is it springtime there in Perth?
it's just becoming spring. Yeah,
Yep. Just as we're becoming
winter.
fall here in the United States.
We had a mild winter this year, so
Good.
it's
And that's
time for-
wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, have you written any other books besides these two children's books?
Yeah, I've written 5 others. Two others published by the one that did the silly animal rhymes. They're studies in fun with etymology. They're called Strange Bedfellows, in which I take a bunch of related words and without any other words added in, I create sentences and phrases and things. Then there's one, my oldest published book is How to Double the Meaning of Life, which is a whole book full of various wordplay types of humor or jokes. And then I've got one that's supposedly, they're giving me a lot of trouble at this Olympia Publishers, but they've accepted, it's the only book that was ever accepted by a publisher. All the rest are self-published. And this one is called 101 Animal Universes. So it's some of the poems from the Silly Animal Rhymes, plus a whole lot of others, plus 3 or 4 that aren't really for children. So it's not quite a children's book without parental guidance.
Gotcha.
And then another one I just finished and I'm about ready to start publishing is making a lot of humorous add-ons to spoonerisms. You know what that is?
No, what is that?
It's where you swap the beginnings of 2 different words in related phrases.
Gotcha.
Well, one of them is demon seed, semen deed.
Right. Or
That's
butterfly and flutterby.
That's it, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Excellent.
So
That
it's
sounds like a lot of fun. Your books are a lot of fun. They've got a lot of spirit. I'm sure that they bring a lot of joy to children. And that other one you wrote about, where you're talking about demon seed or semen deed, will bring a lot of smiles to adults, no doubt.
Yeah, I hope so. It's well, this one is definitely for adults. It's got some naughty bits in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you got a good sense of humor, and that shines through in your writing, both for adults and for children. The names of the books, once more time, is called Silly Animal Rhymes and Stories A to Z, Silly Animal Rhymes and Stories Zoo 2, and Anil is the author, Halpert is the illustrator. Could you read us one more of your poems before we leave today?
Okay, let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Mollusk will be mollusk. Triton, chitin, always fighting. Not to frighten, nor enlighten, just delight and fun of fighting. So exciting.
Wonderful, wonderful. Kids will get to be creative with their language after reading these books. I think they're going to try to come up with poems of their own. And I think it's a great way to stimulate learning, a great way to stimulate conversation, and a great way to stimulate a bond between parent and child. Anil, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm delighted and
We're
honored.
delighted to have you. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.